Long ago, on a small island in the middle of the Mediterranean, on top of a big hill, sat a cave. This cave belonged to a giant Cyclops named Polyphemus, a beloved son of Neptune. He lived a humble, often lonely life, with only his sheep to keep him company. On this particular day, Polyphemus looked out onto the sea and saw coming over the horizon a huge ship. It anchored on his beach, and out jumped 4 crewmen. Nervous, having never had visitors before, the Cyclops hid and watched as the strangers marched their way out to his cave. In the cave, the crew members had made themselves at home. The Cyclops appeared at the door with the only welcoming gift he could find on such short notice. Polyphemus clumsily reached to shake their hands, only to miss and rip one of their heads off. Embarrassed, Polyphemus closed the door to keep them warm. The remaining crew fearfully offered their wine to the Cyclops. Having not drunken anything all day, he finished off their last barrel, then passed out. The men tried and failed to open the door by themselves, so that night they hatched an escape plan. They sharpened a huge stake to a fine point and stuck the pointed end into the fire they had built until it glowed red hot. They then took it and drove it straight into the Cyclops' giant eye. Polyphemus screamed in pain, but didn't want his guests to leave on this sour note. So he opened the door to let his sheep out and felt the tops of the sheep to make sure they didn't escape with them. But the 3 men had tactfully tied themselves to the bellies of the sheep. Once a safe distance away from the cave, the men untied themselves and ran for the ship, one of them screaming behind him, "Cyclops, if anybody asks about the injury that blinded you, tell them Odyssey has destroyed your eye, a sacker of the cities, Laertes' son, a man from Ithaca." Betrayed and hurt, Polyphemus cursed out to his father, "Hear me, great Neptune, if I am indeed your own true begotten son, grant that Odysseus may never reach his home alive, or if he must get back to his friends at last, let him do so late and in sore plight after losing all his men." Then vowed never to have guests again as Odysseus and his men sailed away from the Cyclops' lonely little island.